Have you ever caught yourself wondering, how much time do I really have left? Not in a fearful way, but in a curious, reflective kind of way? The kind of question that floats in during quiet moments, like when you're making coffee in the morning or watching the sun dip behind the trees in the evening. It's a thought that naturally comes after 70, not because we're giving up, not at all, but because we start to value time more. We want to stretch it, savor it, and most of all, make it count. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Recent research shows that adding just a few simple habits to your routine after 70 could potentially add up to 30 more years to your life. Yes, 30. That's not a typo, and it's not some miracle pill or secret potion. It's science-backed, real-world, doable change. And that's what this video is all about. We're going to talk about 7 powerful habits that research has linked to significantly longer, healthier lives, especially when adopted after age 70. Some of these may sound familiar. Others might catch you completely off guard. But every single one of them could be a game changer. So whether you're 71 or 89, your body is still capable of adapting, growing, and thriving. Let's start with the first habit, and this one might just be the most important of all. It begins with how you move your body. Not how much, but how. You see, a recent study from the American Heart Association found that older adults who engage in light physical activity throughout the day, things like standing up every hour, walking around the house, stretching while watching TV, actually had better longevity outcomes than those who hit the gym for an intense workout once a day and sat the rest of the time. It turns out that movement spread throughout the day is far more beneficial than we realized. It doesn't need to be exhausting or painful, it just needs to be consistent. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Maybe you walk to the mailbox instead of asking someone to bring it in. Maybe you do some light leg lifts while brushing your teeth. Maybe you take a few steps in place during commercial breaks. All of that adds up, and it keeps your circulation flowing, your muscles active, and your metabolism ticking. But the real magic? It keeps your mind sharp, too. Physical activity improves blood flow to the brain, which has been linked to lower risks of dementia. So every time you move, you're not just helping your joints, you're helping your memory, your mood, and your chances of living not just longer, but better. Now let's move into something a little more unexpected. A habit that doesn't come in a bottle or on a treadmill, but in the quiet moments of your day. And that's the practice of reflection and gratitude. It may sound too simple to matter, but here's what the research shows. People who take just 5 minutes a day to focus on what they're thankful for, whether that's a loved one, a warm cup of tea, or the way the sunlight hits the window, report better mental health, stronger immune function, and even longer lifespans. Why? Because gratitude lowers stress hormones like cortisol, improves sleep, and encourages positive behaviors like social connection and healthy eating. One man I know, 83 years old and sharp as a tack, told me he starts each morning by writing down 3 good things from the day before. He said, "It's how I remind myself that life is still beautiful, even when my knees hurt." It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about noticing the good things that are still happening, even small ones, especially small ones. So if you've been feeling a little stuck, or if the days have started to blur together, try this. Before you go to bed tonight, think of one moment today that brought you peace. Hold it in your mind. Let it linger. That's the beginning of a life-extending habit right there. Now, let's talk about the third habit, and it's one that most people underestimate, but it may be the most underrated longevity tool we have. It's all about staying socially connected. Loneliness has been linked to an increased risk of early death, even more so than obesity or physical inactivity. But connection doesn't mean you have to go out dancing every night or throw big parties. It means maintaining relationships that matter. It means making that phone call, sending that letter, having that cup of tea with a friend or neighbor, even if it's once a week. One study published in The Lancet found that older adults with strong social ties lived longer, recovered faster from illness, and experienced significantly lower rates of cognitive decline. The brain needs connection, so does the heart. We are wired for it, even and maybe especially in our later years. I know some of you might be thinking, but I live alone, or I don't have many friends left. And I hear you. That's real, and it can be painful. But connection can take many forms. Joining a local senior group, starting a book club, or even engaging in an online community like this one can make a difference. You're never too old to make a new friend, and you're certainly never too old to be loved. Now that we've looked at movement, mindset, and connection, you can probably feel how powerful these changes can be, not just in theory, but in your actual day-to-day life. They're not flashy, they're not expensive, but they work. And the beauty is, it's not too late. You can start building these habits today, right now, and see benefits within weeks. Your body and mind are always looking for ways to heal, strengthen, and grow. All you have to do is give them the chance. Now that we've explored a few of these habits, there's still more to uncover. Habits rooted in food, rest, and even something as simple as how you breathe. Because yes, even your breath has the power to stretch your life forward. Now that we've seen how small shifts in your movement, mindset, and social connections can open the door to a longer and more joyful life, let's talk about another piece of the puzzle, one that's right in your kitchen, sitting on your plate. Because the next habit is all about how food becomes medicine, especially after 70. Researchers from blue zones, those regions of the world where people live the longest and healthiest, have identified that people who live beyond 90 and even 100 tend to eat mostly whole, plant-based foods. That doesn't mean becoming a strict vegetarian or cutting out all the foods you love. It simply means shifting your plate toward more natural, fiber-rich, nutrient-dense options. And here's the good news, it's not complicated. Just start by adding more color to your meals. A handful of blueberries in your cereal, some dark leafy greens with dinner, a cup of lentil soup instead of a salty canned option. These foods are packed with antioxidants that fight off the cellular damage that comes with aging. They help lower inflammation, which is one of the leading causes of disease in older adults, and they're easier on the digestive system than many processed foods. There's one more secret. Portion size. People in longevity hotspots often stop eating when they're 80% full, not stuffed. That small change helps with digestion, weight control, and reducing pressure on the body's systems. After 70, your metabolism slows a bit, so eating lighter, more frequent meals often feels better and fuels your energy more evenly. It's not about restriction, it's about nourishment. Feeding your body in a way that helps it work better, think clearer, and age slower. Now, let's talk about something that gets overlooked far too often: sleep. You may have noticed that your sleep patterns have changed over the years. Maybe you wake up more often during the night. Maybe you rise early even when you don't want to. Or maybe sleep just doesn't feel as restorative as it used to. And that's normal. But it doesn't mean you have to accept poor sleep as your new reality. In fact, studies have shown that poor sleep is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, depression, weight gain, and even cognitive decline. But here's the hopeful part. Restful, consistent sleep is still possible at any age, with a few intentional habits. It starts with routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day trains your body's internal clock. Avoiding large meals, caffeine, and screen time in the evening can make a huge difference. A gentle wind-down ritual like stretching, journaling, or listening to soft music tells your brain it's time to relax now. And don't forget about light. Getting at least 20 minutes of natural sunlight during the day, especially in the morning, can reset your body's sleep-wake cycle, helping you fall asleep faster and sleep deeper at night. A good night's sleep isn't just about energy, it's your body's prime time to heal, to process memory, and to strengthen your immune system. You deserve that rest, not just for today, but for the years ahead. Now let's turn inward for a moment, because this next habit is something we often don't think about until we need it, and that's resilience, the ability to bounce back, to adapt, and to face change with courage instead of fear. One of the longest living groups studied in the world, Okinawan elders in Japan, are known not just for their diets or activity levels, but for their mental strength. They have something called ikigai, which loosely translates to a reason to wake up in the morning. That reason might be family, gardening, teaching, or helping neighbors. It's not about grand achievements, it's about having purpose. Studies show that seniors with a strong sense of purpose live longer, experience fewer health issues, and stay more active in their communities. So how do you find your own version of Ikigai? Start by asking, what gives me joy? Who do I still want to help? What story do I still want to tell? Maybe it's teaching your grandchildren how to bake. Maybe it's volunteering once a week at the library. Maybe it's writing your life story. Whatever it is, when you wake up in the morning knowing that something matters, that you matter, everything else becomes easier. Your energy shifts. Your body follows your mind's lead. And even in tough times, when grief shows up or loneliness knocks at your door, that sense of purpose is a powerful light. It gives you strength, direction, and the motivation to keep going. So if you've felt lost lately, I want you to remember, you are not finished. You are not invisible. You are not too old. Your purpose doesn't retire, it evolves. Let's take a breath here. Because what we're building together is not just a longer life, it's a richer life. A life that still holds meaning, discovery, laughter, and growth. Each of these habits, movement, gratitude, connection, nourishment, rest, and resilience, are threads in a beautiful tapestry, and when woven together, they create something truly remarkable. But there's still more to explore, because how we breathe, how we manage stress, and how we respond to the challenges of aging, those all play a role in how many years we add to our lives, and how much life we add to those years. As we continue exploring these research-backed habits that can genuinely add years, even decades to your life after 70, there's one more area that deserves attention. And this one is so simple, so automatic, we often forget its power altogether. It's your breath. Yes, the way you breathe and how often you pause to breathe deeply, mindfully, is directly linked to how your nervous system functions, how your blood pressure responds, and even how your cells age. In fact, studies from Harvard and Stanford have found that seniors who regularly engage in breathing exercises, just a few minutes each day, experience lower stress levels, better sleep, sharper memory, and stronger heart health. And it's so easy to start. Try this with me right now. Breathe in slowly through your nose and breathe out gently through your mouth. That's it. Do it a few more times. Feel your shoulders soften, your chest loosen, your jaw relax. This isn't just relaxation, it's repair. It's restoring balance to your body in a world that often feels loud and demanding. Taking time each day, even 5 minutes, to sit quietly and breathe with intention helps calm your nervous system and lower chronic inflammation, which is one of the hidden drivers of age disease. Some people like to pair it with gentle stretching, others light a candle or play soft music. You don't need incense or a meditation mat, just a quiet corner and a few breaths. It's one of the most powerful tools we have, and it's completely free. And now, with that calmness in mind, let's talk about the final and perhaps most underestimated habit of all, choosing joy. That's right, joy is a choice. Not always an easy one, not always a loud one, but it is a habit, a muscle you can train, and the science backs it up. Long-term studies have shown that people who maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of challenges, tend to live longer, experience fewer chronic illnesses, and recover faster from setbacks. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about deciding every day to look for light in the cracks. Joy doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means celebrating what's still good. It might be your first sip of coffee, a flower blooming outside your window, a warm blanket on a chilly evening, the sound of your favorite song, a smile from a stranger at the grocery store. Choosing joy is choosing to live fully, consciously. And when you start doing that, not waiting for everything to be perfect, but choosing happiness in the imperfect, your health responds, your heart relaxes, your cells regenerate, your immune system strengthens. Because your body listens to your emotions. And joy tells your body, we're okay, we want to keep going, we're still alive. So let's put it all together. What we've talked about today isn't a fantasy or some new fad. It's real, it's backed by science, and it's working right now. for thousands of people just like you around the world. People in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who have chosen to take small but powerful steps toward a longer, more fulfilling life. They didn't start with radical changes. They didn't need a new gym membership or a personal chef. They started by walking a little more, laughing a little more, eating a little better, sleeping a little deeper, breathing a little slower, connecting a little more often, and choosing joy over fear, over routine, over the lie that it's too late. Because it's not too late, not even close. If you're 70 and you add 30 years to your life, that means living to 100. If you're 80, that's 110. And even if you don't reach those numbers, even if you only gain 5 more good years, isn't that still worth it? Isn't it worth the chance to be here longer for the people who love you? To see another birthday, another sunset, another hug from someone who needs you? That's what these habits offer, not just more years in your life, but more life in your years. And it starts today, with you. You've already taken the first step by watching this. That means you care, you're curious, you're invested in yourself, and that's something to celebrate. So take a moment to feel proud. You're not sitting back and letting life happen to you. You're stepping forward with wisdom and intention, saying, I'm still here. I still matter. I still have more to give and more to experience. You do, and the journey ahead, it's still yours to shape. Now that we've explored these powerful habits that science has shown can truly extend not just the length but the quality of life, I want to bring it down to the ground. Because the next question most people ask is simple: where do I even start? That's a great question, and the good news is, you don't have to do it all at once. You're not expected to become a green smoothie drinking, yoga breathing, marathon walking sage overnight. The key to making these habits work is this: start small, start where you are, and stay consistent. Let's say the idea of daily movement feels overwhelming. Start by standing up every hour, walking from one room to another, or doing 10 gentle leg lifts while you wait for the kettle to boil. That's movement, that counts. If gratitude journaling sounds strange, don't worry. Just begin by whispering one thing you're thankful for when you wake up. Maybe it's the sunshine coming through your curtains. Maybe it's your cat snoring softly beside you. Whatever it is, notice it. You're already rewiring your brain for positivity. If social connection feels out of reach because of distance or mobility, consider this. Could you make a phone call each week to someone you haven't spoken to in a while? Or join an online group where people your age share stories, recipes, or life lessons. Sometimes one conversation a week can lift the fog of loneliness more than you'd expect. Now, let's go over some questions I hear often from people just like you. What if I've never done any of these things before? Is it too late to start? Absolutely not. In fact, starting after 70 can sometimes be more powerful because you're doing it with full awareness and intention. Your body is still capable of adapting. Studies show that seniors who begin new health routines in their 70s or 80s can still see major benefits, including reduced risk of disease, improved mobility, and even reversal of certain conditions like high blood pressure and prediabetes. You don't need a perfect past to have a healthy future. You just need to begin today. What if I have physical limitations or chronic conditions? That's completely okay. These habits are flexible. If walking is difficult, chair exercises can help. If you struggle with memory, simple reminders or routines built around your natural rhythm can make new habits easier. The idea isn't perfection, it's progress. Your version of a healthy routine is unique to your body, and that's how it should be. Speak with your doctor or a physical therapist if you need support tailoring movement or diet to your needs. There's always a way, and often a gentler version, that works for you. How do I stay motivated? The heart of it all. Motivation comes and goes, especially when you're doing something new. That's why building systems works better than relying on motivation alone. Here's what I mean. Tie your new habit to something you already do. Drink a glass of water right after brushing your teeth. Stretch while you wait for the microwave. Breathe deeply while the coffee brews. Make it part of your normal rhythm. Over time, it stops feeling like a task and becomes second nature. Also, celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Did you go for a walk today? Wonderful. Did you choose fruit over cookies at lunch? That's a win. Did you call a friend instead of scrolling through the news? That's powerful. Each of those actions adds up. Each of them counts. Another great way to stay inspired is to find a buddy, a spouse, a neighbor, even someone online who's also making changes. You can support each other, share stories, and keep each other going. What if I slip up or fall back into old habits? Then welcome to being human. Change is not a straight line, it's a winding road. Some days you'll feel strong, other days maybe not so much. The important thing is to keep going, gently, kindly, and without guilt. One off day doesn't undo all the good you've done. What matters is the direction you're facing, not how fast you're going. So what can you do right now, today, to get started? Here's one of the easiest ways to take your first step. Tonight, before bed, sit quietly for 1 minute. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Then say to yourself, I'm still here. I still matter. I'm still growing. That moment of awareness, that simple act of honoring yourself, is the beginning of something bigger. Tomorrow morning, take a short walk around your living space. Pick something colorful to eat. Text or call someone you care about. And smile, not because everything is perfect, but because you showed up for yourself. That's the start of a longer, better life, one step, one breath, one good choice at a time. And as you do, I'd love to hear from you. What's one habit from this video you feel ready to try, or is there something you've already been doing that's made a difference in your life after 70? Share it in the comments below. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. This isn't just a video, it's a conversation, and your voice matters here. So here we are, and I want you to take a moment to really feel something. Not just the knowledge we've shared, but the fact that you're here. You're watching this, not because someone told you to, but because something deep inside of you still believes in your future. That's powerful, that's rare, and that's something to hold on to. Because no matter your age, your story isn't over. In fact, a whole new chapter might be waiting to unfold, one filled with stronger days, clearer thoughts, deeper laughter, and more meaningful moments. And all of that, it starts with the habits you choose today. If this video made you feel something, if it gave you hope, clarity, or even just one helpful idea, then please take a moment right now to click like. It's such a simple action, but it helps this message reach more people like you, people who want to age with intention, strength, and grace. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because every week we're building something beautiful here, a growing community where seniors can learn, grow, and share tools for better living. I believe with all my heart that the second half of life, and even the final third, can be the most rewarding, most free, most joyful part of the journey. Not because it's easy, but because we finally have the wisdom to know what matters, and the courage to choose it. So here's a gentle challenge for you. Don't just watch this and move on. Take one action today. Not next week, not when you feel more ready. Today. Maybe that means taking a 5-minute walk in your driveway. Maybe it's swapping one processed snack for a fresh one. Maybe it's calling a friend you've been missing. Maybe it's simply sitting in the sun and taking 10 deep, slow breaths on purpose. Whatever you do, do it with intention. Do it because your life is worth investing in, not in giant leaps, but in steady, beautiful steps forward. And if you're feeling inspired, leave a comment down below. I'd love to know, what's one habit from today's video that you're ready to try? Or maybe there's a habit you've been practicing for years that others here could learn from. Share it. This isn't just my channel, it's our community, and your voice, your experience, your story, it matters. And if you're already thinking, what's next? I've got something for you. In our next video, we'll be diving into easy, brain-boosting habits that help keep your memory sharp and your mind clear after 70. You won't want to miss it, especially if you've noticed little lapses in focus or forgetfulness creeping in. Because just like the body, the brain loves to be taken care of. So stay with us. You're not alone on this journey. Whether you're 70, 75, 80, or beyond, there's still room to grow, still time to thrive, and still so many moments to enjoy. And as we wrap up, let me leave you with this. You are not slowing down. You are settling in. You are choosing quality. You are reclaiming your rhythm. And you are rewriting the story of what it means to grow older. With every mindful breath, every thoughtful step, every kind choice. This is not the end of your story. It's the part where things get richer, deeper, and more meaningful than ever before. Here's to adding more years to your life and more life to your years. I'm proud of you, I believe in you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.